The old cottage perched on the edge of Whisperwood held a secret older than the gnarled oak shading its roof. Young Elara discovered it one rain-slicked afternoon, her small fingers brushing aside damp moss near the crumbling stone. Well, it wasn't glittering or imposing, just a smooth, river-worn stone, deep gray like storm clouds, cool to the touch. Yet, as she held it, a strange warmth pulsed gently against her palm, and fleeting images flickered in her mind. Sunlight dappling unfamiliar leaves, the scent of wild strawberries, a woman's laughter like wind chimes. Elara gasped, dropping it, but curiosity, stronger than fear, drew her back. She picked it up again, closed her eyes, and concentrated this time. The images steadied. A younger version of her beloved, white-haired grandfather, Finn, carefully placing this very stone right here, whispering words she couldn't quite hear. The stone remembered. Elara ran inside, clutching her find. Breathless with excitement, Grandfather Finn sat in his worn armchair, mending a fishing net. Grandfather, look, it shows me things, she exclaimed, thrusting the stone into his large, calloused hands. A profound stillness settled over Finn as his fingers closed around the cool surface. His eyes, usually crinkled with laughter, grew distant, then shimmered with sudden tears. A slow, tender smile spread across his weathered face. "Ah, little wren," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "You found the remembering stone. My father found it too. Long ago. It holds on to moments, you see? Like drops of rain in a deep well, it keeps them safe." He drew Elara close, placing the stone gently back into her small hand, covering it with his own. "It chose you, just as it chose him and me from that day." The stone became the heart of their evenings as firelight danced in the hearth. Finn would hold the stone, and vivid stories would unfold, not just from his voice, but shared directly through the stone's silent magic. Elara would sit mesmerized, the cool weight of the stone resting between their palms. She didn't just hear about Finn's childhood dog, a scruffy terrier named Pip. She felt the damp fur beneath her small fingers, heard the excited yips echoing in the cottage yard, smelled the earthy scent of the garden where they played hide-and-seek. She witnessed her grandmother, Lila, young and radiant, laughing as she hung washing on a sun-drenched line years before Elara was born. The scent of lavender soap carried on a phantom breeze. The stone made the past breathe, tangible and achingly real. The years flowed like the stream beyond the cottage. Elara grew, but the ritual with the stone remained sacred. She learned not just joyful memories, but the tender, bittersweet ones too. She felt Finn's profound grief when Lila passed, a heavy, cold ache radiating from the stone, witnessed through his younger eyes the quiet strength in his sorrow as he tended her favorite roses. She shared his nervous pride holding Elara's own mother as a newborn, the overwhelming love a palpable warmth emanating from the memory. The stone held everything without judgment: scraped knees, triumphant fish caught, quiet evenings reading, fierce storms weathered. It was a tapestry woven from a lifetime, thread by precious thread. And Elara felt privileged to trace its patterns. Time, however, is a river that cannot be dammed. Finn's hands grew frailer, his steps slower. One crisp autumn evening, the fire casting long shadows, he held the stone longer than usual, his gaze fixed on the flames. When he finally placed it in Elara's hands, his touch lingered. "It's your turn now, little wren," he whispered, his voice a soft rustle. "Guard it well, add your own stories, make them good ones." He closed his eyes, a peaceful expression smoothing his features. Elara held the stone tightly, feeling not just its familiar coolness, but a final, gentle pulse of warmth, Finn's love, his quiet farewell, settling deep within the stone and her own heart. He slipped away that night, peaceful as falling leaves. Elara kept her promise. The stone rested on her windowsill, a silent witness to her own life unfolding. She added the scent of pine needles from her first solo hike, the dizzying joy of her wedding day, the overwhelming fierce tenderness of holding her own newborn son. Leo, she shared Finn's memories with Leo when he was old enough. His small hand resting on the stone atop hers, he saw the young Finn with Pip, heard great-grandmother Lila's laughter, felt the cool spray of the stream Finn loved. The stone became a bridge, connecting generations, carrying echoes of love and laughter through the decades. Leo's eyes would widen with the same wonder Elara had known, forging a bond with ancestors he'd never met in person, but knew intimately through the stone's perfect, loving recall. Now, years later, Elara sits on the edge of Leo's bed, the familiar weight of the remembering stone cool in her hand. Moonlight spills through the window, silvering the room. Leo's eyes are heavy with sleep, but fixed on the stone. Tell me about great-grandfather Finn and the big trout again, Mama? He murmurs. Elara smiles, closing her fingers around the stone. Instantly, the memory blooms bright and clear between them. The thrill of the tug on the line, Finn's triumphant shout echoing across sunlit water, the rainbow scales flashing as the fish leaps, the shared laughter vibrating in the warm summer air. Leo sighs, a small smile touching his lips as he drifts toward sleep, wrapped in the warmth of a memory decades old, yet perfectly preserved. The stone rests silently on the bedside table, holding within its ancient core an entire universe of love, patiently waiting for the next story, the next heartbeat, the next generation to whisper their secrets to its eternal memory. It remembers everything, so love is never truly lost.